a dispute as to when the trial started, or should the reimbursement go all the way to August 8th?
Okay, so I take it that you will be submitting to this court something that will outline all of those days.
Yes.
Okay, and then the court will ultimately decide that.
Yes.
Okay. That having been said, the defendant is presumptively ineligible for probation, absent a special finding that this was an unusual case where the interest of justice would be served if probation were granted pursuant to Penal Code Section 1203, subsection E1. In view of the nature and the underlying charges, as well as the conduct engaged in by the defendant, this court is not inclined to impose a probationary sentence and or make a finding that the imposition of a probationary sentence would be in the interest of judgment. Accordingly, it is a judgment and sentence of this court that the defendant shall be sentenced to a term of life without the possibility of parole with respect to count 1 for the underlying murder charge, coupled with the special circumstance allegation alleged under Penal Code Section 190.2A15. As to count 2, the first-degree murder, the defendant shall serve the midterm of 4 years. However, the term shall be stayed pursuant to Penal Code Section 654. Did I say first-degree murder? I meant the count 2 first-degree burglary. I misspoke. But that shall be stayed pursuant to 654. Thus, the defendant shall receive a total sentencing term of life without the possibility of parole, and with the 4-year midterm with respect to the burglary charge to be stayed per Penal Code Section 654. Defendant is to make restitution to the Victims' Compensation Board in the amount of $7,500 for burial costs. I understand that the parents have incurred additional cost in that nature. Is that correct?
Yes.
The defendant is to provide all appropriate DNA samples as dictated under Penal Code Section 296. Pay a restitution fine of $300. The court will stay the parole revocation fine of $300. He's to pay a court security fee of $40, a criminal convictions assessment fee of $30. He's also prohibited from owning, purchasing, receiving, possessing, or having under his custody or control any firearms, ammunition, and ammunition feeding devices